All right, I'll do just a little quick video here, hopefully. So as you can see, we got wheels on the old Mustang. She almost looks like a car again. About to be a rolling chassis. Mounted the wheels today and lowered the rotisserie down as low as it would go, which as you see is still a good bit off the ground. It could go lower, but to do so, I'd have to use this all thread, which I don't trust. It's 1-inch all thread, and I don't trust it to hold the weight. I mean, all the weight will be held on this nut and this whole length of rod into this pivot, which is just 2 drilled out nuts. I don't really trust that to hold it, since I'd have to unbolt this clamp completely to lower it down. Now, once I have something underneath it that's a little higher, I might do that, maybe, since it wouldn't have far to go. I don't know, I'm really skeptical to break these loose. So, I took on a venture today to fabricate another tool, so to speak. And I started cutting the material for it, letting my blade cool. Probably need to be letting it cool more so than I am, because I'm pretty sure it's already starting to get dull and I'm gonna have to buy another carbide blade. But oh my god, is it so much better than using a cutoff disc. Now if I had a good bandsaw, I'd just use a bandsaw, but all I've got is a porta band and I want straight cuts. So I'm not gonna try to guide my porta band through and draw a line on all 4 sides and try to make sure I'm staying straight. So I'm doing this. Anyways, what I'm making is essentially lift stands. And there's someone that already makes these. So I'm pretty much taking their design, more or less. I'd already thought of something similar, but it wasn't quite the same as theirs. It looks like their design is more thought out than mine was gonna be anyway, so I'm adapting theirs. But if you can do a quick search, I think their website's My Lift Stands, and they make good quality products from what I can tell. I mean, they have a lot of reviews, and they're on Facebook, and everybody says that their stuff is great. But they're $275 a pair. And I don't have that money to spend. I do, however, have a lot of leftover material, and a welder, and a chop saw, so I'm making it. If you have the money, I suggest go to them. I don't want to necessarily try to steal business from them or try to tell people how to make these versus theirs, because theirs are way better built and way more convenient. They already come powder coated in the works. They're nice. Like I said, I don't have the money for it. So, but if you want to know, I mean, I can guide you. If someone else doesn't have the money to do this, I can kind of show you how this is going to go together. More or less, it's 4 posts. Going to be squared off with another piece of metal that sleeves inside. And there will be a plate on the bottom of sheet metal, it's 14 gauge, and a sheet at the top of these. And they pretty much just have as a base with the 4 big posts, with a base on top with the 4 little posts, and they just slip into one another. And the lowest they'll go will be this bottomed out, and then the highest will be, you know, somewhere with about this much of this still in the tube with a bolt going through it. They use a 3/8 stainless pin, and they have sprung pins, so once you lift to the height, they automatically lock in, which is awesome. I don't know if I'm gonna adapt that idea. It's a lot more design, it's a lot more stuff I'd have to buy, I don't have springs, etc. So I am gonna buy something. I have to buy some 3/8 bolts. I'll have to get 16 of them. But I'll have to drill 3/8 holes and pop a bolt through with a nut on it, and that'll be my method. But you essentially, you set them up, and they sit here with the top of it sitting, say here, so depends on the length that you make. These are 12-inch, these are 11, so my lowest distance is gonna be 12-inch. So it'll sit about 12 inches off the ground, somewhere in here, and mine will have a max height of I don't know, right at 22 inches maybe. So close to 2 foot height. But you just slide it in place, put a jack underneath, lift the jack up to the level you need, pop the pins in. Now normally to use these, they use these in place of jack stands, and they're a lot more stable if you don't have to pull the wheels or anything. You just put these in place, lift with the jack, slide it in place, lift the next wheel, slide it in place, and once you get them under all four, you go back and you go one wheel at a time and lift the stand itself and pin it and move to the next. So on. But anyways, that's the design. I'm not gonna go in too far with that because I can keep rambling. But anyways, I'll show you what the wheels look like. It's a nice little stance. And it sits underneath the fender well. Just perfect in my opinion. I think these things look awesome on here. And I love the way that these stainless lugs look with these wheels. Just beautiful. That gorgeous wheelwood behind there. Oh, just so nice. Nice deep lip. Give you an idea. There's finger extended. I think it's about a 3-inch lip roughly. But, so the fronts I wasn't quite as happy with. At first glance, they look like they stick out like crazy. And I don't remember this car with wheels on it with the fenders off, how it looked really. But this just seemed like Mario Kart. Especially when I came in here, I looked at how far off the caliper was. I mean, it's a gap. But it's funny because these are meant to fit stock Mustang setups pretty much. And I don't know if they even offer a different offset in them. The shitty thing is I can't go in any. I could have spaced it out, can't go in. Thought I was gonna have a major problem and end up having to buy wheels to even make this happen, but I put the fender on this side and it just barely clears. So I'll probably have to roll this. My intention later was to possibly even flare this front because I want some wide fronts. I'd almost would love to be able to put as wide of a back tire up front. But here's how it looks. And again, these lugs just look so nice. Anyways, that's her. Hopefully I'll be able to get these built this week and get this thing off of rotisserie. And Rudder, if you were serious, if you want this thing, throw an offer my way. I couldn't tell you what I've got in it. I want to say materials with the jacks and all is at least right at $400 to $500 in material, I think. I know these things sell for like crazy amounts, like 2,000 or some shit like that. At least for one that's out of this size tubing and stuff, you can get them as low as 1,000 to 1,500. But I don't even remember where you live, man. I want to say you were up north, but like I said, if you're interested in this thing, let me know. I've got a body cart too. I'm sure you saw in the other video. I don't know if I want to say somebody had told me they wanted that thing, but you'll have to get new posts, which those were going to be a pain to transport anyways, which I mean, those are just these 20-foot straight sticks that are cut to whatever length I had, 15 foot maybe. So I repurposed one of them to make this, since they had been sitting outside and were getting rusted up anyways. But I've still got all the attachments. That's them in the back by that bucket and on that shelf next to the circular saw. Anyways, I'll be held up on money on this thing soon. I mean, I'm credit card maxed and I'm pretty much going paycheck to paycheck on ordering parts for this thing. I know I've still got to buy turbo. I've still got to buy little nitpicky bolts and hardware stuff. Interior, I need my gauges. Random other interior components. The doorknobs, the door handles I need to replace. These, I didn't even cover them. They're getting oversprayed and shit because I was planning on tossing them. They're old as shit. And they're not expensive. But there's other little things I'll need to buy. Hopefully these nuts coming through the floor from that fuel filter don't become a problem. I want to say the seat area covers that anyways, but I've got them lining the tunnel and floorboard, etc. Anyways, made the video too long already, rambling and whatnot. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned again. Maybe I'll get this thing on the road here in a few months, years, sometime soon. Anyways, later guys.